said it before, but it's worth repeating. One of the most effective anti-anxiety techniques that will reduce a panic attack, that will calm you down, that will help you to be grounded and refocused, is calm, slow breathing. Take a breath. Problem is that this advice is stupidly cliched. Everyone says it all the time. And it's so very easy to not even attempt it or to believe that it won't work. But, study after study has shown that the mind and the body are deeply interconnected. If you calm the body down, the mind will follow. If you calm the mind down, the body will follow. So if you're stressed, if you're overwhelmed, if you're anxious, if you're feeling dissociated, and you can check into your body, if you can calm yourself down through calm breathing, well, your mind will follow. And it becomes this feedback loop. So one of the things that I try to implement in my life, and when I'm coaching people in their lives, and just in general, with my kids, just calm breathing. You're overwhelmed? Let's do some calm breathing together. And there's a variety of different approaches. One approach is just to count, 10 slow, calm breaths. In, hold, out. And just keep repeating that process until you're calm. That's great, but it can be quite hard to do in the moment because you're sort of in your mind freaking out. And if you're trying to implement that strategy, it can be difficult, particularly if you've sort of gone to a level of overwhelm that is, sort of beyond your ability to control yourself. If someone else is there with you, mentoring that and guiding you through that process, then it can work. This is why guided meditations and calm breathings do work down that path. And I've released a few of these sort of things on Insight Timer. So I'll put a link down to a slow guided breathing, calm breathing meditation. Another approach my son actually taught me. He's going to kinder, and the kinder people taught him to do some calm breathing. And they called it finger breathing. And what you do is you have your hand out and you breathe in as your pointer finger goes up the little finger of one hand. And as you bring your finger down the other side, you breathe out. And then you breathe in as your finger goes up again. And breathe out as the finger goes down again. And what they taught him to do, and what he taught me to do, was when you're feeling stressed, you do some finger breathing. 10 breaths for 10 fingers. Up, down, up, down, up, down. And what this does is it forces you to slowly move up and down as you're feeling your finger going up and down. You're getting the calm breathing and you're checking into the physical sensations of your body. It's a present state awareness. So present state awareness is basically getting you to check into the senses. What can you see, hear, touch, taste, and smell right now? Once again, it's a great way to calm your body, calm your mind, and in turn, calm your body. So if you're focusing on what the senses are bringing in, you're not as focused on the mental duress that you're feeling, the panic attack, the anxiety, whatever that's going on there. I love that approach. It actually sort of came full circle. A couple of months ago now, I fell off a wall rock climbing and quite significantly injured my ankle, and I was in a bit of pain. And my son happened to be there. And, whenever he hurts himself, I tell him to take a calm, slow breath and, you'll be fine, right? So I was in pain and I'm like, gritting my teeth and stuff. And he's like, hey, Daddy, do a calm, slow breath. And I'm like, you're right. The pain didn't stop, but it helped me to process and take the actions I needed to. I got my phone, called for help, etc. So it's good to get that feedback. Now, what I'm going to do is at the end of this podcast, I'm going to play you a chapter from the book, How to Get Shit Together, called 10 Relaxation Breaths. This is my sort of just a bit of a summary of me being like, hey, do some calm breathing. But the reason for this podcast now is to let you know that I've got myself an affiliate sponsor. Someone who wants to sponsor my Instagram, sponsor this podcast, and basically just, help me to help you. They've got a product that they've given me a sample of called the Calmy Go. Now, this is a little device, handheld device, that basically helps you to do calm breathing, as well as present state awareness, all in one. Basically, it's a little handheld device that you breathe in, and then you breathe out through it, and it measures the duration of your breath. And then over time, it's measuring how far you're breathing, and then gets you to take longer, slower exhales. So you breathe in and then you breathe out slowly, and then some lights flash up and it vibrates. So it's triggering the sensation of sight with the lights, the feeling sensation of the breath, and they've also got a scented element that puts on top, and you choose the scent. I chose bergamot. That's my favorite scent at the moment. So it's triggering your sight, your hearing, and your smell, whilst it's also giving you some feedback and causing you to calm down, forcing you to breathe slower. Now, I was a little skeptical at first because, there's devices and stuff that does everything, but I like it for a few reasons. One, it's a device that you can carry with you and use. Now, I used it yesterday. I went out with the family and I got overwhelmed. We were at a sort of like a museum effectively, but it was like sort of for younger kids, and there was a whole bunch of kids running around going crazy, school excursions. And I was already having a bit of a stressful day and I just got overwhelmed. So I put myself in the corner and did some slow, calm breathing with the Calm Go for about 3 minutes, calmed myself down, and was able to sort of just get back to normal functioning. It worked for me. So what I'm now doing is integrating this device into my morning meditation and my nighttime calming down. Because slow, calm breathing, like I said, I have anxiety, I have issues down this path, and any help that I can get to sort of just lower myself to a base rate of functionality is needed. I like it because it not only sort of teaches you how to slow down your breath, but it sort of forces you to breathe slower, but it does so with the sight, with the sound, and with the smell. And that's including the present state awareness meditation. It grounds you. And that's the point. I'll do it for about 3 minutes, and then I sort of notice this wave of calm coming over me. I like it. I also like it because if you choose to purchase it, you've spent money on this device. Now, I know that sounds counterintuitive. It's like, but the fact that you've spent money and now have a device sort of gives you a sunk cost fallacy that, oh shit, I should use this device. Because I've told you about the slow, calm breathing, right? But how easy is it to go, I can slowly calm breathing and not do it? Oh, the finger breathing, that's great for my son. But how easy is it to not remember that technique or not do it? But if you spend money on a device, you've paid money for a service, for a thing, for a product, so you want to use it. You want it to work, right? The fact that you've spent that money, you've put the sunk cost in, will cause you to use it. And if you're using it, thus you will be able to practice slow, calm breathing. Do you see the backwards logic there? So if you actually pay for the device, the fact that you've paid the money makes you use it, and thus you will be implementing the act of slow, calm breathing into your life, right? It's like if you could pay, it's like the paid subscription services to meditation apps, right? You've paid, so you may as well use it. Paid gym membership. You paid, you may as well go. Thus, it causes people to use that. So what they've given me is a referral link and a promo code. So it'll give anyone who signs up through that promo code a $30 discount on the purchase price. And of course, it will also give me a kickback as well. So it's a way to support what I'm doing, but more importantly, support what you're doing. So if you click the promo link to the Calm Go in the show notes, you'll get that $30 off the purchase price. Or if you use the promo code Zach P. Phillips, that's ZACPPHILLIPS at checkout, you will get the $30 off the purchase price, as well as you'll be supporting what I'm doing here. Once again, though, I'm always about giving free and helpful advice to those that can't afford it. If you have the money to spend on this device, by all means, do it. It will help you. But if you don't, like I said at the start, there's just, it's basically teaching you to slowly, calmly breathe, right? Check into your environment. Be present. Do present state awareness meditation, do calm breathing meditation, do mindfulness meditation. And I've talked about that. I've got blogs and podcasts on all of that sort of stuff. I've got a whole Insight Timer profile talking about with courses and a variety of different things, talking about slow, calm breathing, talking about present state awareness, all of this sort of stuff. I'll put some links up so you can access the free resources. And I'm going to play for you a chapter of the book, How to Get Your Shit Together, called 10 Slow, Calm Breaths. But like I said, if you want to have a device that will force you to practice the slow, calm breathing, that will train you to breathe slower and is there for you in your pocket, I recommend the Calm Go. I'm using it. in addition to my normal meditative practices, because it's there. And I'm like, okay, there's something about using a device to assist. Okay. In a similar way to my son doing the finger breathing, it's sort of like, oh, it's not just slow, calm breathing. I'm doing a process. And the fact that you're doing a process extra helps the slow, calm breathing. So with that said, like I said, check down the links in the show notes below to check out the Calm Ego, and check out the other links. I'll put a link to the chapter of the How to Get Shit Together that I'm going to play, and I'll put a link to my Insight Timer profile, because from there you'll be able to find those free resources, and I'll put a link to a calm breathing guided meditation. So without further ado, here's that chapter. Chapter 1.2 10 Relaxation Breaths. Conscious breathing heightens awareness and deepens relaxation. Dan Brule. When I first heard of taking 10 relaxation breaths, I immediately disregarded the entire notion that it could provide any benefit at all. It seemed too simple to be effective. I never even attempted it. I didn't want to look foolish in front of people, or myself. Somebody stopping what they're doing to just breathe seems odd. I didn't want to put myself in such a vulnerable situation just to try something that I knew wouldn't help. I know many people who feel the same, yet despite this piece of advice being thrown around on a daily basis, it's rarely implemented. This is a massive shame, because slow breathing is one of the quickest and most accessible methods available to reduce anxiety. It took the birth of my first child to convince me of its benefits. To help with the birthing process, my wife turned to the practice of calm birth. This is basically a combination of education, preparation, and breathing exercises designed to best prepare the expecting mother for labour. Each night, we listened to a guided breathing recording that got us to do many repetitions of slow, deep breaths. Not only did the practice make the birthing process a relatively calm and joyful experience, but the benefits on our day-to-day anxiety levels were mind-blowing. The goal of the rest of this chapter is to convince you to try the technique and to feel for yourself the amazing impact upon your anxiety levels. Take action. Take one slow and deep breath, in through the nose and out through the mouth. Attempt to get the air deep into your stomach. Hold it there for a few seconds and slowly let it out through your mouth. How did that feel? Notice how your posture was forced to change in order to take the deep breath. It is impossible to breathe deeply with a slouched, tense, anxious, or depressed posture. This physiological change of posture will send a signal to your brain, and your mood will begin to change. The mind and body are interconnected. If you are feeling mental stress, tension, and pressure, your body will soon follow. Similarly, if you are sick, unfit, have a poor diet, or are under physical duress, your mental state will also soon suffer. When we perceive a threat, real or imagined, the sympathetic nervous system is activated and hormones are released. This is basically the flight or fight response. Our lungs expand to take in more oxygen, our pupils dilate to take in some more light, and our heart rate increases. Organs and glands produce and release hormones and chemicals, and our digestion stops. Energy is diverted towards the larger muscle groups in preparation for action. This response is natural and necessary. It keeps us alive. You will have felt the sympathetic nervous system in action if you've ever been in a fight, a car crash, a heated argument, an intense competition, or spoken in front of a large crowd. Do you remember how long it took for you to feel normal again afterwards? When the threat is past, you are now safe. Your parasympathetic nervous system will begin the slow process of returning your body back to normal. It is also responsible for the release of a variety of hormones that are responsible for digestion, sleep, relaxation, sexual functions, and a plethora of other bodily systems. It is important to note that if the sympathetic nervous system is activated, the parasympathetic nervous system and all its related functions will be impeded. So what does all this have to do with anxiety and breathing? Basically, anxiety is the perception of a continuous, low-level threat. It causes the sympathetic nervous system to be constantly on, and subsequently, the calming impact of the parasympathetic nervous system is never fully activated. the body is in a constant state of partial readiness. This translates into feelings of anxiety and stress. This is where the breathing comes in. If you are breathing slowly, your brain will interpret that there is no danger. How could there be? If there was a danger present, you wouldn't be breathing slowly. If you change the body, your mind will follow. By taking long and slow breaths, you are calming the body down, your heart rate will slow, and your tension will fall. This will have a cascading effect as the parasympathetic nervous system will start to work more and trigger more relaxation. This effect will be cyclic. The more your body relaxes, the more your mind will relax. And the more your mind relaxes, the more your body will relax, and so on. Take action. Using the same method as before, you're going to take 10 slow and deep breaths. Don't worry about how long each breath should be. Just attempt to breathe deeper and slower than usual. In through your nose and deep into the stomach. Hold it there for a few seconds and slowly let it out through your mouth. Gently repeat this cycle 10 times. If you are struggling with the timing of your breaths or focusing on the breath making you feel nervous, try Googling slow breath animation. This is a simple animation of a triangle that turns into a square that turns into a pentagon and so forth. As it opens up, you breathe in, and as it closes, you breathe out. And it helps to regulate your breathing. Have a quick search for it, give it a check, and it will really help you to get the feeling of slow breathing. Take some time now to take 10 slow and deep breaths. Gently repeat this cycle 10 times. Do this now. Frequently asked questions. Should I stand or sit? Should I keep my eyes opened or closed? This is all personal preference. You really should experiment and find out the way that works best for you. Personally, I like to use this technique as both an on-the-go anxiety reduction, as well as a pre-sleep relaxation technique. For anxiety reduction, I just do it in whatever situation I'm in. Most often, the people around me are never even aware that I'm doing it. I just take 10 slow and deep breaths while standing there, eyes open, whatever posture I'm in, seated, standing, doesn't matter. Before bed, I do it laying down with my eyes closed as I start to fall asleep. I might do this cycle once or many times as I require for the relaxation of getting to sleep. Summary. Your mind and body are interconnected. By breathing slowly and deeply, your body relaxes. Thus your mind will also relax and your anxiety will reduce. Okay, so that was a chapter from the book, How to Get Your Shit Together. You can read that chapter and other free chapters through the show notes below. I'll put a link there. But you can also grab a copy of the book as a paperback, ebook, and audio. If you want to own it right now, read it all in one place. And I just want to remind you, if you're interested in the Calm Ego, if you sign up through the link in the show notes or with the discount code Zach P. Phillips, you will get yourself $30 off purchase price. Anyway, I hope this helps you because once again, a calm body equals a calm mind equals a calm body, and you can sort of cycle that together. Yeah, you can help your mind by calming down your body. You can help your body by calming down your mind. That's the approach that I take, and that's the approach that I suggest to my coaching clients. So please consider it, check it out, help me out. And like I said, the free resources are there if you're keen. Anyway, have a great day.